What's up, guys? Welcome to the Stats Free Sports channel. I'm your host, Jarrell Hicks, here to bring you episode 6 of the Stats Free Sports podcast live, and we're here. I'm at home. Kids are here, family's here. Wife is at work. She's working from home. Kids are here. One is asleep. One is in the room playing. So hopefully he stays in his bedroom today for this podcast. But if he come out, it's fine. Let's get started, man. Episode 6 of the podcast. First time ever doing it live, so it's kind of weird and stuff. I used to be on YouTube a while ago, showing my face. I haven't done it in a while, probably like a year now. But let's get right on to it. So let's start with some football. Let's start with the NFC lease. As you see in the title, no longer America's team. This is based on the Cowboys. They cannot be the America's team anymore. It can't be. It can't be. They haven't won since the 90s, I believe, late 80s, early 90s, something like that. I was born in 95, and, they were relevant then. They haven't been relevant since the 2000s. They can no longer be America's team. It was the Patriots. I guess it is the Patriots currently. But no, Tom Brady's gone, so that's probably gone too. But, they're one of the worst teams in the league right now. They also one of the worst ran as well. I know they drafted great the last couple of years, last decade they've drafted great, but they never could get the team over the hump. And that's Jerry Jones' fault. That's his son's fault, Stephen Jones, Jason Garrett. They had great teams here and there, had great players, a lot of very good players, and they never could get them teams over the hump. So they're a cool franchise, but they're not America's team. But I want to talk about them in that situation at the quarterback position. What can they do? What should they do? Now, my take on it is, anyone that got hurt, that nasty cheap shot by Joe Bostic, Dave Bostic, whatever his name is, for the Redskins. Nasty cheap shot. Should he be disqualified for the season to miss a couple games? No. Football is a violent game. It used to be real nasty. So, no, it is what it is. I'm not tripping about the hit. It was a dirty hit. For sure it was a dirty hit, but not tripping too much about it. But with Andy Dalton hurt, are the Cowboys in the trade market? Will they get a Sam Darnold? Will they get a Cam Newton? Maybe will they get somebody off of another team? Mitch Trubisky, Nick Foles, will they look for somebody like that? No, I think they'll ride it out. The rumor is they're tanking for Trevor Lawrence. That's the rumor. The entire NFC least is garbage. That's a fact. But that division, the last 3 teams in that division, they might go like 2, 4, and 6 in the next NFL draft. They are that bad. Like all 3 that lose the division might be like top 5 in the NFL draft, probably. For sure, top 7. If the way it keeps going, the way it shakes out, it might be that. And they all, in my opinion, they all might get new quarterbacks. But we'll talk about that a little later, in a few minutes, actually. But sticking with the Cowboys, I think Dak has leverage now since he's been out. He has more leverage. I think his price has went up. Definitely went up. But the rumor is, like I said, the Cowboys might be tanking for now, just to get Trevor Lawrence in the draft. I'm not mad at that if they do, or trade. What's his name? The guy loves Trey Lance, Justin Fields. They might get one of those 3 guys, or the guy from BYU, I believe, that's balling out right now. They're looking to get one of those 4 guys. I'm not mad at it. Dak hasn't won either. So, even though Dak has more clout than anybody else in the league right now and deserves that money, was having a great year before he got hurt, I still wouldn't give Dak that money if it's me. I don't think Dak is a winner per se. Great numbers, good leader, seems to be a good guy, but I don't think he can get a team over the hump. He's not a superstar quarterback. He's a very good quarterback in a big city, and he's handling it. I can't talk right now. He's handling it well, being a Dallas Cowboys quarterback. He's not folding at all. I just don't think he's a winner. I just don't think so. Especially not with other guys around like the Breezes and Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady's, Pat Mahomes. He's not better than any of those guys. And their teams aren't. The teams aren't either. But if you want to sign Dak to a long-term deal, you will eventually ride out Breeze and Brady. Breeze maybe on his last year, Brady maybe on his second to last year. Aaron Rodgers probably about 3-4 years left. Russell Wilson's still there though. So if you can wait if you sign Dak to a 5-year deal, you'll probably get 3, maybe 2 of those years without Rodgers, Breeze, and Brady. Or maybe one without Rodgers. In a 5-year deal, he probably lasts another 4 years. But you'll have Russell Wilson for sure all those years. Who else in the NFC? Carson Wentz. I mean, cool. But nobody really major. Kyler Murray's there. Golf. It's okay. It's all right. But it's not a lot of competition really in the NFC if you think about it. Just the old regime who's been there for a long time. So if you want to sign Dak to a long-term deal, you'll probably wait all those guys out. You just have Russell to deal with and Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins to deal with for the next 5 years. That's more manageable than having those guys plus Rodgers, Breeze, and Brady. But me personally, if I'm the Cowboys, I would tank. I'm tanking. I'm gonna get traded. I'm gonna get Trevor Lawrence or Justin Fields. Now I'm not a Trevor Lawrence guy myself, but I think Jerry Jones will fall in love with Trevor Lawrence. 6'5", 6'6" quarterback, is mobile, has a beautiful arm. I think he's inaccurate, but people think he's the best quarterback since Andrew Luck, or even better. I don't see it myself. I think he's a little overhyped, but hey, it's better paying $30 million over 5 years than 4 or 5 year deal for Dak worth about 200, 300 million potentially. So I'm not mad at it. He'll come, whoever the rookie quarterback is, will come into a very good team. Good old line, great offensive weapons with a work in progress defense. So that's not a bad move to me. Now go to the rest of the NFC East, or at least let's go to the Giants and the Washington. About to say the Redskins. Sorry, the Washington football team. Now, 3 to 4 teams of the NFC least division could have new quarterbacks. Like I said, the bottom 3 teams in this division, which probably will be for sure now the Giants, Washington football team, and the Cowboys, they all might get new quarterbacks. They all might be in the top 7 of next year's NFL draft. And we have like 4 or 5 great caliber starting quarterbacks. I believe that's worthy to start from day one in NFL, or at least be great prospects who could potentially start, second half of NFL season, their rookie year, something like that. Trey Lance, Justin Fields, and Trevor Lawrence are the top 3. Those probably Fields and Lawrence will start from day one. Trey Lance maybe like a Tua, even though Tua is different with the injury. Trey Lance could probably get in the last 4 or 5 games for a struggling team. But the Giants have Daniel Jones, who's been a complete bust. I was a fan of his. I wasn't mad at the pick. I watched Duke football a little bit when the years he was there. I liked him a lot. Smart quarterback. But his turnover rate in the NFL is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Oh, my God. Like, it's crazy. There's no way in the world he should get another chance. Like, he's worse than Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold gets an excuse because he doesn't have weapons. Now, Jones doesn't either, but Darnold isn't turning over the ball as much as Jones is. Like, Jones is just throwing the ball away, fumbling the ball away. It's crazy. It's crazy. So, yeah, even though he lacks weapons as well, elite weapons, he has more than Sam Darnold, in my opinion. And he's not utilizing them at all in any positive way. So, yeah, Daniel Jones should be gone, in my opinion, after 2 years. Dwayne Haskins, I think give him one more shot. But this year in the NFL, you have a couple seasons to prove yourself. And so far, I know his first year, personality-wise and commitment-wise, it wasn't there. This year, I'm not sure. I haven't heard any off-the-field stuff or seen any reports about it, about him not being committed to the playbook or anything like that, or film study. But just the talent isn't the talent isn't showing on the field as much as it should. And that's the thing with Dwayne Haskins. So I will give him one more year, at least half a season next year. As I said before in a video, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't release him. I would just sit him for the rest of the season. He'll just sit him down, and next year come back, give him a starting spot. I guess it's earn it first in the summer, obviously. But if he earns it, give him a starting spot willingly for the first half. If he doesn't work out, then cool. If the team sucks, but and he's still playing sorry, then cool. But if the team sucks and he's balling like how not Dak was, but no, he looks improved and better mechanics and things like that, a better hold of the offense next year, and the team still sucks, then cool. We have something to work with. If not, then go ahead and let him go. But I think in his win now mode for the NFL and the pressure from the fans, I think Haskins gone. I think we've seen the last of him. They'll probably release him or something like that. Or give him to another squad. The Lions might take him up. Matt Stafford's getting pretty old. The Lions might get him. The Vikings might get him for a backup or something behind Kirk Cousins. Somebody needs a young backup quarterback to take their older quarterback spot because Kirk Cousins is getting older, and the Vikings still suck. The Lions Matt Stafford getting older. The Lions still suck. So, everybody needs a backup quarterback, a young guy to take their spot. So, excuse me, I definitely think. Haskins or Jones or whatever. Dak could end up in Minnesota. Dak could end up in Detroit and take Matthew Stafford's spot next year. It can all happen. The new head coach gonna be in Detroit probably. The Vikings, I'm not sure who their coach is right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't remember. Is Mike Zimmer still there? I don't know. I don't know if Mike Zimmer's there or not. But either way, Kirk Cousins on his last leg there, last year or two probably. Matthew Stafford probably on his last year or two. A new head coach come in. They might want to, and if the Cowboys gets a young quarterback and Dak is a free agent, I can see him going to Minnesota. I can see him going to Detroit. I can see him going to a decent franchise, nowhere that's super duper sorry, like the Jacksonville Jaguars. No, he's not going to the Jaguars. He's not going to, let's see, who else? I don't think he'll go interdivision and go to the Giants or the Washington football team. I doubt it. I don't see it happening. I think the Vikings, Lions, who was a solid team, the quarterback might be gone. Trying to think off the top of my head. Vikings, Lions, LA. The Vegas Raiders maybe if they don't do anything this year in the wild card race. Indianapolis Colts. Because Phillip Rivers signed a 1-year deal. Brissett's on his last year, I believe, or 2 years left, but he's still not better than Dak. Yeah, I can see Dak going to one of those places. Let's get moving with the content. Man, I stayed on the quarterback conversation a little bit too long. Let's move on to the new arrivals for certain teams. The Chiefs get Le'Veon Bell this week versus the New York Jets. I don't think he'll play. He might push to play. I don't think he'll play this week against the Jets. It would be fitting. I think he might. He might. The Jets, the Chiefs might push him or give him at least 15 snaps. I know Le'Veon should be in shape. It's not too much just to run a couple screens for him. He might get 15 to 20 snaps at least against his old team to prove that he still has it. Give me a good old line, give me a good quarterback, and I can do numbers. So I changed my mind. I think Le'Veon will not start, but he will play at least 20 snaps versus the Jets this Sunday. The Chiefs versus Jets, I think 1:00 game. I would love to see Le'Veon go off in like a limited snap, snap number. I would love to see him go like 50 and 50, like 50 catches. 50 passing yards. Oh my Lord, 50 receiving yards, 50 rushing yards, something like that, in very limited snaps. I would love to see that from Le'Veon. And Antonio Brown. I definitely don't think he's playing this week. He's been out. I think the Bucs have a bye, right? Not mistaken. They don't. Whatever. He's not playing this week for sure. Will I think he'll blow up the locker room though? No. I think the person who might do it is Mike Evans, who I made a video for as well. Check my YouTube channel, Statue Sports YouTube, or on YouTube, whatever. I made a video after the last game. Mike Evans was pouting and throwing a fit about not getting passes into the fourth quarter, as Bruce Arians said. You know, but Mike Evans was having little hissy fits here and there, and you saw him when certain guys score, he wasn't really celebrating as much as he would have if he would have scored. You know what I'm saying? So I could see Mike Evans going off before Antonio Brown does. I think Brown knows it's his last chance, and I think he's gonna act right. He's with his guy Tom Brady, who he fought to be with, and Tom Brady did vice versa. He fought for him to be with him as well. So I think he'll make the marriage work between the Bucks and Brown. You know, I think it'll work out. But I think the first receiver to lose his head might be Mike Evans instead of Brown. I put it on video, and I'm standing by it. I think Mike Evans, will be the first one to probably blow his head before Brown. And lose his head, that's a better phrase. Lose his head and be more temperamental than Antonio Brown will. Now, some I didn't do a video on, but as soon as I seen it, I was sad, I was depressed, and I know the Dolphins don't watch my channel. And that is Tua makes his first start against the Rams. Now, if you watch my videos or if you're familiar with me at all on my thoughts on rookie quarterbacks should not see the field until their first year, at least halfway through their first year. Halfway through their second year or the start of their third year. That's my opinion on all rookie quarterbacks. No matter how great they play from the jump, no matter how bad they play, no matter the position they are picked in, any rookie QB should not be active on any NFL roster until their second year. That's my opinion. I believe truly and wholeheartedly in the Aaron Rodgers way, in the Aaron Rodgers system. Not sitting for 3-4 years, but at least sitting a year and a half. Learn the playbook, learn your city, learn everything, learn the nightlife, like all that. Learn how to be a professional before you just throw into the spot. And that's what a lot of teams, in my opinion, do wrong. And I was so mad when the Dolphins. I was so happy at first that Ryan Fitzpatrick was a starting quarterback. They're 3-3. He was playing well. I'm like, word, we will not see Tua at all this year. So happy. And especially because Tua is my favorite quarterback from this past draft. I'm very high on him, so I want to be right. So I want Tua to be a superstar. So I'm like, yeah, for sure. Protect him his first year. Let him learn everything. Let him, build a better O-line around him next offseason. Then let him come in and get some snaps. The Dolphins being the Dolphins. They let Fitzpatrick, lead him to a half-and-half record, to a 500 record. Pretty decent record for the Dolphins, and they're playing well. They just blew out the Browns or somebody. Who they blew out, and then they want to bring in Tua. I don't like it. I don't like it, man. Tua should have not played at all this season. I stand by that. But he's here now, so we'll see him versus the Rams. Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. The Rams aren't slouches, that's for sure. The Rams aren't slouches, but I definitely think that. Hello, Tierra Walker, my first live viewer. How you doing, miss? Respond back to her, but I definitely think Tua should not be starting at all, especially not against a guy like Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey. It's going to be a tough one. But we'll see what happens. Let's go to some NBA talk. Not too much to talk about right now. NBA season ended a couple weeks ago. No real news, but I want to give a shout out to two new head coaches. A new head coach for the Pacers. Let me Google his name real quick. Look it up because it's a little tough name to say. So the Pacers hired Raptors assistant coach Nate Bjorken. Longtime head coach, assistant coach for the Raptors. I like the move. a lot. Where's my screen at? I lost my screen. Okay, I'm back. So very, very good move. Long-time assistant coach, but a first-time coach. I'm happy about that. Time to see some new blood in as a head coach. I'm tired of seeing the same names passed around here and there. It's fine, I guess. But I'll definitely happy to see some new blood in head coaches. And shout out to the new head coach for the Rockets and Steven Silas, who's a coach for the Dallas Mavericks for a while. Um, some new blood. I have no clue what system they'll run. I have no clue how the star players of each team will respect these guys, or how it's going to run. But at least they have some new blood to get there. They get 4-year deals. They have 4 years to prove themselves. Hopefully, they get all 4 years and just do their best. I don't really have much to say on it, but I'm glad to see some new guys in there. So shout out Bjorken and shout out Steven Silas. Bjorken probably has the harder job, I believe. The pace. When you have a star player, and especially as a new young head coach, well, not young, but a new head coach, you can rely on him to bail you out in certain situations. You can't look foolish as well. But I think with Steven Silas having Russell Westbrook, having Harden, they can help guide him. They can help, make his job a little easier. It'd be harder. It's hard to deal with. But I think the job itself is easy because you can just call an ISO for James Harden and let him work. You can call a pick and roll for Russell and let them work, and they'll just do what they do. Now, Indiana, with Victor Oladipo want to be gone, TJ Warren had a great bubble season, but not an overall season. It was a cool season, but he had a great bubble season for those, 12 games, 8 games. You have no clear-cut stars. You really have to just play team ball. You really have to have a legit cemented system and see how it works. So I think it's gonna be tougher for Bjorken and the Pacers, but Silas definitely has his hands full with 2 stars, especially with Russell Westbrook. So we'll see how it goes for both guys. I guess I'll talk about Rajon Rondo before we leave out of basketball. Like I said, basketball not too much going on right now. Oh, I have one more basketball topic as well about the NBA draft, but Rondo going to the Clippers. I made a video on this a couple of weeks ago. I still say no, even though the Clippers, I think the Lakers can offer more money, but people are saying Rondo might want the challenge of beating LeBron James, all that good stuff. He's already done it. Like I said before, he's done it with the Boston Celtics in 2009 to 2010. He already beat the LeBron Lakers. I'm talking right. He already beat the LeBron back in 2009 and 2010 with Cleveland, and he was at Boston respectively. So I don't think Rondo really cares about beating LeBron again. He already done it. Maybe as they're both age, he might want to do it again with a new team with Kawhi and Paul George, but I doubt it. I highly doubt it. I think he'll go back to the Lakers. Now, re-signing Rondo might mean you can't bring back KCP. Are you cool with that as a Lakers fan? I don't know. KCP definitely brings a better scoring punch. Probably a better defensive punch. Yeah, for sure. A better defensive punch as well. But you have Avery Bradley back, hopefully. You have Caruso still there. You have Danny Green there for another year. So, it depends on what you think is more important, signing Rondo or keeping KCP. I would probably go with Rondo because Avery Bradley's back. But in case of another pandemic, as I said before, Bradley scares me because Bradley's the only one to sit out for the Lakers when they went to the bubble. So if something else happens next year, you're out back with just Rondo and no defensive aid. We have Caruso, but KCP played Duncan Robinson and Tyler Hero well, same as Caruso did. They both played defense great on those guys. They both locked them up. So with just Bradley there and Caruso. But if Bradley's gone, then we'll see what happens. Well, like an injury. Injury can happen as well to Caruso or Bradley. So I don't know. I would probably pick Rondo as well, but KCP will be missed if they can't re-sign both guys. Now on to the NBA draft. My last topic for the NBA: who will be the best NBA draft player in 5 years? Oh, I said it all wrong. Who will be the best player in the NBA from this NBA draft class in 5 years? I'm saying Isaac Okoro from Auburn. Now, I know LaMelo Ball is a favorite pick for some guys, Anthony Edwards, James Wiseman, but I think Isaac Okoro has the best potential in this weak class. Now, off top, he's already a great defender. Very good defender, great defender. 6'6", 225, NBA ready, NBA body. and he's a willing defender. He'll lock anyone down. Like, he doesn't care about the position, about speed, size, whatever. He's ready to play. And looking at his comments about why he should be the number one player in this year's draft makes all the sense in the world. Let me just try to find it real quick to read it, like I'm in school or something. But let me just find the. Give me 1 second. Let me find this quote. Let me find it. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Basically, in short form, basically Isaac Okoro says that he should be the number one pick in this draft because he's the most. What do you say? He's the. Trying to think what he said exactly. I don't want to misquote him. Let's have to look it up, right? Let me look it up. I ain't worried about it too much. That's extra. Basically, he says he's the most coachable and he's the most willing player in the entire draft. He'll do anything to win. He only cares about basketball. He's a basketball head. He's a basketball nerd. He watches film. He eats, sleeps, breathes basketball. That's what he said. Basically, in a whole nutshell. And an attitude like that, you've seen that win over this year. With attitude like that, I definitely was seeing that in Jimmy Butler this year with the Miami Heat. That goes a long way now. That goes a long way, man. Having that attitude, trying to, being a dog, being a rough rider like Butler. His NBA comp, funny enough, is Jimmy Butler. A 6'6" guy. Butler's around the same size, same weight, good defender. Butler has turned out to be one of the best two-way players in the NBA today. And Okoro, I believe, could be in that same vein. He's very good. His offense game is the worst part of his game right now. But just as Butler did coming out of Marquette, just be in the right system, be in the right team, and you'll grow. And be a workaholic. If Butler was that, Okoro can be the same way. I'm not saying, he will be him exactly, but similar. And his class is weak. I love LaMelo Ball. He's my favorite player in this draft, but I don't think he'll be the best player in this draft because of defensive woes. He's not a willing defender as Okoro is, or Anthony Edwards. He's a great offensive weapon, but not a good defender. He has an NBA body. He's an NBA ready body, has NBA size, has the speed, quickness, all that stuff. Same as LaMelo. But if you're not a willing defender, it's hard to really teach that at all times. And I think Okoro could be, like I said, if his comp is Jimmy Butler, I think, and it's a better two-way player, I don't think Edwards' comp is a two-way guy. You know what I'm saying? You could probably give him, I can't even think right now who Edwards could be comp to. Because like a Victor Oladipo, I guess, like at their best, Oladipo and Butler, who's better? You would go Butler. You know what I'm saying? And I think in this draft the same way. Edwards is more athletic, same as Oladipo is more than athletic than Butler. Better handler of the ball, better playmaker. But Butler is just that dog gonna make some better. And he worked for it. He's a great mid-range shot, barely shoots a three, but a great defender, hell of a defender. You saw every time LeBron went on Butler, LeBron always got the ball ripped from him, got the ball knocked out of bounds, or got his stuff stuffed at the rim. He got blocked at the rim every time. You rarely see clips in the NBA Finals of LeBron scoring on Butler one-on-one. In the post, transition, from the three, from an offensive set, it didn't happen. It didn't happen, guys. Everybody missed that for some reason, but Butler was a dog. He's an animal on defense, on both sides, especially on defense. He's a killer, man. I think Okoro could be in that same vein, not as good, but somewhere in that area. I don't think anyone else from this draft of note, of name-wise so far, a notable name like Ball or Edwards or Wiseman, I'll say, will be in that same vein as a Butler type of star-level player. I think they'll all be pretty good, but I think Okoro in 5 years will be better. And he's a little older, too. He's a little older than Edwards and LaMelo. I think he's like 20, 21, something like that. So more, I think he'll be more experienced. He'll be more mature, to go to a team that maybe, and they're saying the Spurs might snatch him up. That's what the talk is. The Spurs might get him. They might trade for him. They need a guard, a wing type of guy. The Rosen's getting older. They won't win anyway, so might as well get some young talent in there. They have Murray. They have White. They want to supposedly get Okro in there as well. So we'll see where that goes. But I like him a lot. I like him a lot. So let's go to our last part of the podcast. Let me see. I guess I'll touch on some MLB. I'm looking at my list right now. Yeah, the Dodgers won the World Series, the first one in a long time. Shout out Clayton Kershaw. When I did play MLB show, the Road to the Show, a long time ago, back in 2011, 2012, I was a big Clayton Kershaw fan. Curveball was nasty. But, I've been a fan of baseball in a long time. I wanted to be fake and do a video on it just to get the views, but I couldn't do it. Man. But I'm happy for Clayton Kershaw and those guys. He's been a playoff, I guess to himself. I wouldn't say to me, but he's been a playoff failure and had the monkey on his back for a long time. He finally got over the hump. He finally won one. I'm happy for him. He's been one of the better pitchers in MLB for a long time. I don't know what he is now. I know he's on the team still. I know he's pretty good. He's still starting. I don't know if he's still great. I'm not sure. I haven't watched baseball religiously in a long time. But I am happy for him, though. So, but I wasn't be fake. Definitely do a couple and cover the whole World Series and get the views from it. But I'm like, that's nasty. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, man. But shout out to those guys. Shout out Clayton Kershaw. I know Mookie Betts on the team. Shout out to him. He had a couple big games I've seen on ESPN. But yeah, I haven't watched baseball in a long time. I am a Boston Red Sox. A Boston Red Sox fan. But since Big Poppy retired, who's my favorite player of all time, I just kind of zoned out a little bit after that season. I know that Red Sox won a year or two after he retired, I think, with Mookie Betts and those guys. But after that, I kind of just zoomed out of football. But on to my last topic. Let's get some UFC in, man. Probably the best sport going on right now. I love some football, but UFC has had a great year so far. Shout out Dana White. I'm trying to pull my list up so I want to talk about. Okay, so the UFC lightweight the division. So the GOAT, which I stand by, the GOAT Khabib has retired. And let me say this: I know I've been saying a lot of things. Jon Jones the GOAT, Anderson Silva the GOAT. No way. I know Khabib hasn't had as much title defenses as Jon Jones. Jon Jones has had, I believe, in total 15, 16. Khabib has had 4, but still, you can't tell me Khabib has looked dominant in every fight he's been in so far that I've seen. I think he's 29-0. I've seen like at least all UFC fights, so 13-0. I've seen 13 fights from Khabib, and he's looked unstoppable in all those fights, except for one. And that one, that's one of his first ones. I'm not tripping off that. But since he's been Khabib, the household name, he's been unstoppable. And Jon Jones came off that way, but his last 3 or 4 fights has been very tight. And he's been due to lose one. He's got away with a couple losses that came out his way some way somehow. I'm not saying it's cheating on him. I'm not sure, but a couple of fights Jon Jones should have lost. Reyes, Santos, the standout ones. Some say the first Anderson Gustafsson fight. Alexander Gustafsson fight. That should have been one of his first losses. So I don't know, but I've definitely seen Jon Jones struggle with opponents his last couple go-arounds. I've not seen Khabib struggle with anyone in about 4 or 5 years, 6 years of that. So, yeah, I definitely don't have no doubt about Khabib being the best. Silva with the PD usage. Jon Jones too, but, I don't know. They say that like the picogram stuff, I don't know. And I know it's PEDs, he got banned and stuff, all that stuff for it, but I don't know if it's, actual enhancement or is it like just high levels of stuff. I'm not sure. But Silva was definitely busted with PEDs. That's a fact. That's a fact. He's out my goal conversation off the top. GSP, I think Khabib is better than him. I think his resume is better as well. GSP who had a great career, but I think Khabib is better and has a better resume. And if Khabib would not have retired and went for 30-0 and fought GSP, he would have beat GSP for sure. I have no doubt about it. He would have took him down and done him the same way he did everybody else. I have no question about it. So Khabib for sure the GOAT, but let's get to his old division, his old stomping grounds, lightweight division. It's all open now. It's free game. Conor versus Poirier, hopefully, is they're saying January, but it's not booked yet at all. So it's only October, late October, early November. So hopefully it'll get booked soon. They still have a lot of time to meet that January date, so I'm not tripping about that. But if that fight does go down, you have Dustin Poirier and Conor. The rumor is Michael Chandler, Tony Ferguson. Now, I will say this up front. I am not a fan. Not a fan. I don't know at all, nothing. I don't know anything at all about Michael Chandler. Not one thing. He's coming over from new promotion. I've heard of him, never seen a highlight, never seen anything. I just know during the Khabib and Gaethje fight, he was like promoted heavy, super heavy. I know he was the backup for that fight as well. So it's all I know about him. So I'm not naive there. I'm ignorant there to Michael Chandler. But he's getting pushed so heavy by UFC. Plus, he's older as well. He's like 34, 35 already. But, he's getting pushed already since he first got to the UFC, which is like a couple months now. And then he's fighting Ferguson, hopefully. That fight rumor is true. So must be the real deal. And you have Gaethje. That's it, yeah. Those five guys. We'll see. I wouldn't mind seeing like a play-in title match. So Poirier versus Conor, that winner fights Gaethje, right? And then that winner, the Gaethje versus Conor or Poirier, gets to, that's a title match. And then Ferguson and Chandler gets that match after that one. You know what I mean? So I want my little playoff bracket type of style from that, because those five all deserve to be champions. I think going off what I know, I think Ferguson will be all those guys. I think Ferguson will end up, if it plays out that way, I think Ferguson would end up as the champion first. Well, no, not first, but I think he'll end up the champion at the end of the day. So Poirier, Conor, I'll go with Conor if he's ready and primed to fight. Then, from my knowledge, from my way of doing it, Conor versus Gaethje, I'm going with Conor. So then Conor fights the winner of Chandler and Ferguson. Like I said, I don't know anything about Chandler, so I won't, but I still go with Ferguson. I think Ferguson beats Conor. So at the end of the day, it all works out after probably like a year and a half. I think Ferguson will end up with the title. So yeah, that's my logic on how everything will like shake out and work out. And the rumor, not rumor, but people are saying that if Conor goes on a crazy win streak, will he make Khabib come out? No. Khabib has said on record already, if you give him $5 billion, he will not fight Conor again. He already said that. It's not going to happen. Conor can go on a 10-fight win streak, knock everyone out in the first 10 seconds. Khabib will not come back. He won't do it. He already said it, so I'm not tripping on that. So, yeah, people need to stop, and stop trying to, and it's real nasty. Ariel Helwani, real nasty. I seen his interview with GSP. You kept bringing up, are you going to fight Khabib? Bruh, the man, Khabib himself said his own wishes from his mother were not to fight. He says honoring those wishes because his late great father. Then GSP from the get-go already said, I'm respecting Khabib's wishes. I will not mention him again about fighting because of his own wishes. And he kept hammering on the point about, bro, y'all need to fight. If Khabib would have kept fighting, you've been his last opponent. Can you still beat him? Like, bro, I understand you have a job to do, but that's just nasty. Like, bro, respect him. It's a 20-minute interview of him just asking about Khabib, and can you make him come out of retirement? Talk to Dana, talk to Khabib, one last fight for him. I'm like, bro, come on. That's just nasty. You have a job to do, but do it the right way. Come on, man. The dude said he gave his reason exactly why he's doing what he's doing. So why keep pushing the point to his potential opponent and still trying to make him talk bad about him or talk anything about him? He said he's done talking about him until Khabib wants to fight, which from his words, he's retired, so he won't ever fight again. So I don't see the point of keep trying to hammer on or egg on the situation between GSP and Khabib. Let it go. It's not going to happen. Khabib said he's retired, and that's that. Now, I want to get on the heavyweight division. Francis versus Stipe 2 might be coming. And do I think Stipe can beat Francis again? I say yes. Francis, who, from my standpoint, since he fought Stipe, is 4-0 with 3 knockouts in like less than a minute. So, has he really gotten better since his Stipe fight? I say no. Now, is Stipe's chin weaker? Is Stipe older? Is he declining as a fighter? I say yes. That Cormier-Stipe fight, the third one, the last one we saw, was garbage to me. That was garbage. There was no need to see that fight again. I've said that since Stipe and Cormier 2. I didn't want to see it again. Move on to something new. They did it again, and it was a sorry fight, in my opinion. I'm not a DC fan at all. The eye pokes are ridiculous. Stipe is cool, but you can tell he's on a decline. Now, Francis, no, the first time Stipe and Francis fought, Francis called him a couple times, and it didn't do nothing to Stipe. Stipe ate him and continued to out point him and things like that. Now, do I think it'll happen again? I don't know. Francis, like I said, I think Stipe is on the older side now. He's like what, 36, 35, 36? I think he's on a decline as well. He's on a decline. He's getting a little slower. He's still a good boxer, can move, can wrestle, whatever, can grapple. But I think this time, if Francis catches him, he might go night-night. I think it's time. I think time for a new champion. I think Francis will be a good champion, but I would love to see Francis beat Stipe and then Jon Jones' first fight at heavyweight beat Francis. That would be insane. If you want to blow the numbers off of Conor and Khabib, the 2 million, was it 2 million or 200 million? 2 million buys for pay-per-view, whatever. Have Francis beat Stipe. Make that move, make that match happen. Bet on Francis to win. He should win. Like I said, I don't think Francis has gotten better, but I think Stipe has gotten worse. And that power for Francis is still there. It hasn't went anywhere. So I think by that math, I think Stipe will get caught with one and get knocked out by Francis. Now Jon Jones comes in. I don't know. We all been waiting for Jon Jones to be in the heavyweight division for a long time now. He's finally coming, hopefully. I still have a belief in my heart they're gonna make the Adesanya Jon Jones fight next. I know Jon's been prepping the last couple of weeks to last few months to go to heavyweight. It's gonna take some time, but I really do believe Jon Jones might fight Adesanya next for a legendary fight, and then they'll meet up. Then he'll go up again, and then he'll go back up and fight heavyweight. I guess that fight between Adesanya and Jones will be a light heavyweight, but not for the title. I guess it's kind of weird, but I guess that'll happen like that. I don't think Adesanya will stay at light heavyweight. I think that's just a one-off match. I think they should meet again. Or meet for the first time. All the trash talking come to a head. They meet light heavyweight, non-title fight, a main event though, definitely main event, duh. And then once they whoever wins or lose, whatever, they go in separate ways. Adesanya goes back down to defend his title at middleweight. Jon Jones go to heavyweight and fights Francis or the winner of Stipe Francis. I'm not mad at that. And instead, excuse me, And instead of Francis fighting John right away, they just give John some recovery time because he had to train for Adesanya and stuff, whatever. Give Francis Curtis Blades, something like that. Give him a little, show him a little love, give him a little easy matchup. Give him Curtis Blades, maybe call back DC. I think DC will lose well. Same as Stipe, he's over the hill in my opinion. And then in the middleweight division, since Adesanya is a champion, I would do a Whitaker versus Teal 2. I would do a Whitaker versus Romero 3. And then they'll decide, they'll give Adesanya some time to heal up whatever from his John fight. And then Adesanya comes back down and fights the winner of Romero, Whitaker, or whoever. Whitaker versus whoever you want to put in there. I think those would be a good idea to make that work. But I really can't wait. Francis Stipe 2. Francis knocks Stipe out, get him out of here. And Jon Jones makes his way to the heavyweight division. First fight, first title shot versus Francis. The world will break. The UFC world will break in half. I'm telling you. Numbers through the roof. People have been waiting on Jon Jones to go to the heavyweight for a long time now. People have been waiting to see Francis fight for real, like fight a real opponent for a long time now. And I think Jon Jones can be that for Francis. Jon Jones has great defense. Even though he's been lackluster the last couple fights, he still has great defense. He's still a phenomenal fighter. And I think his speed advantage will carry over to heavyweight, unlike it did with those younger guys like Santos and Reyes did in the light heavyweight division. I think that speed and his power will translate more to the bigger guys because he'll be bigger, but he'll still be bigger than those. He'll still be faster than Francis. I think that will work in his advantage. Now, if Francis whops him one time, we'll see. Jon has been through wars. Jon has been banged up. Jon has been hit before. He's no stranger to it. But that Francis power is something different. It's something new. It's something new, man. So we'll see. We will see. And hopefully, I hope Jon Jones don't use no steroids to fight Francis. Just work out hard, please. Don't use no steroids, no PEDs, no HGH for Francis and come out a couple weeks later after the fight that you win or lose, whatever, had a great fight, whatever, and come back, oh, Jon Jones gave up the heavyweight title because of HGH, high levels of testosterone, whatever. I'm like, oh my, I'll be hurt. I'll be so hurt. So if Jon Jones, if you can't make the weight or can't make be comfortable at heavyweight, don't do it. Don't go back to using performance enhancers. Just drop back down to light heavyweight and call up Adesanya and then fight those Reyes boys, fight Reyes, fight Blachowicz, fight those guys. But if you need to go to heavyweight and you need these PEDs, please don't do it. That's my only thing for Jon Jones. Don't tarnish yourself more like Anderson Silva did and keep using steroids and keep cheating the game. You've done it a few times already. Just chill out on it. Just chill out. Everybody still love you so far. Just chill, because one more might turn the tide from love to hate real fast. So, Jon Jones, seriously, guy, if you can't make heavyweight division the weight properly or feel good enough or feel comfortable to be there, don't do it. It's not hard to go back down to a division. It's okay. Just explain to us why, and it is what it is. I'm not tripping on it. But that's it for the podcast, guys. Episode 6 in the book. First ever time doing it live. Powered by StreamYard. You see in the right-hand corner. I'm giving this a try. I'm trying a few other platforms out, but trying to give y'all more content, different content, better content. This is my first attempt at that. Be aware. Go ahead and subscribe. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Stats Free Sports channel, Twitter, all the same name, @Stats Free Sports. More better content coming your way. See you guys next time.